My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law, so please subscribe to our channel. How do you win a change of domicile case? Well, I'll tell you, it's not one of those motions that is typically won by taking a form, checking off some boxes, and handing it to the court clerk. There are some people who do these sort of canned motions and stuff like that. I don't think that's a good idea, because the court, in order to change the legal domicile of a child, it's really a grace. The court doesn't have to do it. The court can well say, look, you have a custody arrangement, you share a child, this is where the child lives. Letting you move with the kid is going to really frustrate the parenting time of the other parent. It's really going to impose a brand new scenario on the relationship. I don't want to let you do it. I mean, the court could easily say that. So if we want the court to take a different approach to it, we really have to give the court a very strong reason why it should allow the change of domicile. And it just can't be that you decided you're sick of Michigan winters. And it can't be that, you got family down there. Everybody has family everywhere. None of that means anything, in COVID, when people couldn't travel, they still found ways to sort of interact with family, even if they were out of state, through Zoom or FaceTime or otherwise. So that's not going to cut it. Let me give you this advice. If you're going to try and change domicile, don't go in there with some canned motion, because what the court is going to want to do, and this is what we do here, and I'm not going to give you advice that's different than what we would do here. So this thing has to be prepared in such a way so that the court can appropriately compare the proposed environment and the existing environment. The court's going to want to look at, for example, what is the crime rate like? How does it compare to, from, let's say, Southfield, Michigan? How does that compare to Boynton Beach, Florida? So if you're going to make that move and propose it, you're going to have to show the court. You're going to have to provide those statistics. What kind of school system is it going to be? You need to cross-compare that. What are the socioeconomics like? What's the cost of living going to be, and how's that going to impact the ability to have money, in the household to take care of your kids? What are the social implications of this? Right now, for example, maybe your kid has friends live right down the block. They're out there playing and riding bikes every day. Will your child have that same opportunity there, or maybe even better? Family could come and play also in that. What if there's no family here and there's a lot of family there? That's a factor. It's not going to be the reason why the court's going to let it go, but again, it's all about what's in the best interest of the child. So when you compare these environments, the smart thing to do is make sure that you give the court enough cross-comparison data so that the court can say, okay, I see a compelling reason to do this. I see a reason that makes sense for the child. You do it that way, and the court's more likely to grant your request. You can tell by the way I describe it that this motion, like I said before, it's not a page where you check off boxes. These motions are an inch thick, because by the time you're done pulling all the data, that's how, the kind of presentation that you make. And if you do it that way, obviously your chances of success are much greater. That's why this is not the kind of thing a person should necessarily do themselves. It's not a do-it-yourself project, because the ability to pull all that together, to get all that data, to present it in a way that's acceptable to the court, probably left more appropriately to professionals rather than people who aren't used to doing this kind of thing. Like I said before, your chances of success are dramatically increased by doing it that way, and obviously, isn't that the goal, to have a successful endeavor? If you have any questions, reach out, and we'll be glad to help you out.